Now to this, safety officials are urging people in Georgetown to avoid areas near the general store. That's on Five Islands Road. Emergency crews say there is an active forest fire. We're told that emergency crews are on scene there, and we're still trying to get more information. We've got a crew on the way. Police in Lewiston are investigating an overnight shooting. They say it happened around 11 p.m. last night. Officers say gunfire hit an apartment building on Pierce Street. Investigators say one of those rounds did go into a second-floor apartment. Police say no one was hurt. Officers are now examining shell casings and a projectile that they found in the area. Lewiston Mayor Carl Shaleen shared a statement urging people to call the Lewiston Police Department with information about the incident. That phone number is right there on your screen. A 22-year-old man from Falmouth is facing an assault charge after police in Portland say he threw an unknown substance on a woman. Portland police say it happened Wednesday on Forest Avenue. The woman reported to police that a man got out of his truck, followed her, and then threw a substance from a small container at her. Police issued the man a summons charging him with assault. They would not confirm with New CENTER Maine what that substance was. Today, we are hearing from town officials and residents in the town of Camden after the Select Board voted this week to pause the town's paid parking program. New CENTER Maine Sean Tesler shows us what parking looks like now.
Parking meters in Camden are now completely covered up after a 3-2 Select Board vote to pause paid parking in the town.
I think it's a good idea not to have paid parking in Camden.
Camden resident Edith Manns shares the same views as many Camden businesses, that paid parking will only hurt the summer traffic.
And to be discouraged by having to pay or get billed for having to pay is, I think, hurting this environment.
For months, residents have been calling for a town vote in effort to repeal the program, but everyone was not on board with giving up on paid parking.
Business has been booming here on Main Street. We haven't seen a noticeable problem.
Teresa Mastrocolo works at a Camden cupcake shop and says residents will regret the decision when it's time to pay taxes.
That money's got to come out of somewhere, right?
Camden's delegated town manager tells New CENTER Maine the town was anticipating receiving $150,000 from paid parking this year. She says the Select Board will need to consider increasing property taxes to make up the deficit. Select Board member Chris Nolan was one of 3 votes in favor of pausing paid parking. He says the decision came down to protecting downtown businesses.
The net revenue may not be worth it for the risks that it would occur to the businesses in the town of Camden.
He also says the parking meters were taking people's information to parties outside of the town, and the town didn't do a good job of making people aware of paid parking.
We need to make sure there's proper signage in town that shows where the paid parking areas are.
For now, visitors and residents can freely park in the area. In Camden, Sean Tesler, New CENTER Maine.
And Nolan expects there to be a non-binding referendum on this coming November ballot so that the town can learn more about the residents' opinions on paid parking. State leaders in Massachusetts are responding after a Democratic Party chair was charged with driving under the influence. According to court documents, Southborough police arrested Steve Kerrigan after an officer reported seeing his SUV weaving between lanes on Route 9. Court documents say Kerrigan told the officer he had 2 beers at a hotel in Boston and was driving home to Lancaster, about 50 miles away. Police reported that Kerrigan's eyes appeared glassy and bloodshot. They said his speech was slow and slurred, and that breath tests measured above the legal limit for alcohol. The state's lieutenant governor says she learned about the arrest only minutes before being questioned by reporters.
It's obviously unacceptable, and he needs to take full responsibility for those actions.
Kerrigan's attorney also says it's not clear yet whether Kerrigan plans to step down from his leadership role.